Said your American dream in your book was to get $20,000.
Yes.
All right. You've run, let's see, you worked at Coke, Pillsbury. Yes. You've worked at Burger King.
Yes.
Godfather's Pizza CEO.
Yes.
Most of the situations you ran were turnarounds. In other words, companies that had a bankruptcy.
Yes.
But you only wanted $20,000. You thought you made it.
Because when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of money. I can remember my dad could only give my brother and I money to eat in the school cafeteria one day a week on Fridays. And it was 25 cents.
Pizza day.
Yeah. No. Hot dog, apple, and a carton of milk.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
It wasn't even pizza. It wasn't even pizza day.
Yeah.
And so I grew up saying, you know, it would be nice to make $20,000 a year. Why? I had read somewhere that if you make $10,000 a year, you could qualify for an American Express card. I wanted 2 of them. That was my material, lifelong American dream. Yeah. And I'll never forget the day that my boss at the Naval Weapons Laboratory, when I was a ballistics analyst, called me in and said, you're getting promoted. We're creating a new supervisory mathematician position. You're going to get promoted because you got your master's degree. You've done a great job.
You're going to pay you?
And I said, well, Wayne, thank you for the title, but what is it going to pay? And he said, $20,001 a year.
You described growing up poor.
Yes.
In the segregated South. Your father had 3 jobs.
Yes.
Janitor.
Yes.
What else did he do?
Barber.
Your mom was a maid?
My mom was a maid. My dad was a barber, a janitor, and a chauffeur. Dad never complained or played the victim card. He was thankful that he had the health to be able to work 3 jobs. He worked 3 jobs until he could make it off 2. He worked 2 jobs until he could make it off 1 job. He did it the old-fashioned way. We didn't know we were poor.
You tell a story, segregated South. You're out with your mom and your brother, who, by the way, since passed away. I didn't know that until I read the book.
Yes.
Where you want to get a drink.
Right. With
your brother. Your mom says to go get it. Tell the story.
My mom used to go to the bargain basement of the downtown department store. That's what we could afford. So my mom was downtown this particular time with my brother and I. I was about 7. He was about 6. And so there weren't a lot of people in there. And so my brother and I said, Mom, can we go get a drink of water? And you had to go over to where the water fountain was. There was one on the left, and there was a sign over that said white. There was a sign over the other one that said color. And so my mom said to us, now, you boys make sure y'all go to the color fountain. We said, okay, Mom. So we get over to the fountain, my brother and I, and we look around. There wasn't a lot of people there. And I said to my brother, you go first. He tasted the white water.
Yeah.
And then we looked around. He says, your turn. We tasted it. I tasted the white water. Then we both tasted the colored water. And we looked at each other, 6 and 7 years old. The water tastes the same. What's the big deal? We had not been taught segregation at the age of 6 and 7. We wondered what the big deal was about. Now, that being said, and growing up in the segregated South, I am not mad at America. I don't have a grudge against America, because one of the things that has made this nation great in its short 235-year history, Sean, is its ability to change. A lot of other countries don't have that ability. We ought to be appreciative of the fact that this country has that kind of resilience.
We don't have time tonight, but the book, I've known you for a dozen years. I learned a lot about you. It talks about your upbringing,
Yes.
the challenges in business, and also a lot of your political views.
Yes.
And I really enjoyed it. And it's a great book, and you're going to be on the road now promoting a little bit as you're on the campaign.
We got a book tour starting today. We just highlighted it, kicked it off on your show, as promised, because you're still my friend.
I can't believe you're talking to me now that you're so high up in the polls. I'm amazed. That usually
we're looking forward to it. So if people go to my website, HermanCain.com, they'll know where we're going to be for the next 2 weeks promoting the new book.
All right, Herman, we'll see you out on the campaign trail.
Thanks, John.
Appreciate it as always.
Thank you.
Let not your heart be troubled. Great.